Hello! So today I wanted to do a video about burning out because that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I'll try and keep it brief, which has not been my strength so far. I just wanted to speak a few thoughts about burnout and like something, yeah, basically that. So, burning out pretty much sucks, obviously. What happened to me is that I was just training constantly, every day, and for like almost 3 weeks I did not have a day off. Not because I didn't want to. I really wanted a day off. Just because we were premiering 2 shows, and I was in both of them. So when we were rehearsing, it was like we were doing like rounds. So the first group would go and then the second group. So then the first group would get to rest and the second group was going. I didn't get to rest. Neither did one other girl. So we were just like dying together, like genuinely dying. Like my skin felt so, like I felt like it was overheating, like a computer when it's going like crazy is how I felt. Like you could probably have baked a cookie on my arm. Like that's how hot my body was dying. But they were, my teachers were like, this is good, this will build character and mental strength. And I was like, yeah, for sure. I was like, yeah, I'm great. I can totally get through this. But at some point, I feel like as mentally strong as you can be, sometimes your body is just, when your body wants you to stop, it's just going to make you break down. So that last week, last week, just broke down a lot. There was actually a day at rehearsal. I went into the bathroom and like cried a little, and I was totally destroyed. And I looked in the mirror and I was like gonna try and like affirmation my way kind of into feeling good. And I was like, yeah, Crystal, you're good, you're doing great. And I just felt like complete bullshit and could not get behind that at all. And I had been listening to a lot of like podcasts and stuff of these people I like, and they also say that. They're like, yeah, affirmations, just no. Like, you can pretend, stare in a mirror and tell yourself you're great when you're feeling like shit and it's just not going to do anything. So they have a different system, which I liked, which I was doing, which was more like I was just more telling myself, like, okay, Crystal, you may be exhausted and not be feeling good and feeling really tired, but you can get through this next hour, you can get through this rehearsal, and then you'll go to bed and you'll be fine. I could get behind that, and that actually did help. Then I went back out. No one knew I cried, so that was good. But now I'm getting to rest because I just broke down after the shows. I was sick, I was tired, and then I started eating like crap again, so that was not fun. I gained 2 kilos, which I would like to lose before my competition in 3 weeks. It's very annoying how easy the scale goes up and not down. But and then I was talking about like with my brother who also burned out, but he's been exhausted for a while because of it, because it was a really big burnout, and just how we just really need to listen to our body and just stop. Like, as much as I think part of it that we were talking about is like the values we have of what we think success is. So if I think success is, let's say, being a professional dancer, and then I need to train really hard every day, maybe my body's not so okay with what my mind wants. Sorry. And then that's okay, and I just need to change what my idea of like success is or what I want to do, because if my body is not going to keep up, I should stop sledgehammering it, and shoving it into the ground and trying to make it do something it just doesn't seem to be very capable of doing, unfortunately. So I think that's important, because I remember in the book, the Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, that was one part I really liked of his book, was about changing your values. Maybe you just have shitty values. It's like, your life is great, but the way you're measuring your life and success is not good. It's just like, there was some good stories about the, what was it, one of the guitarists or drummer, I think it was the guitarist, I don't remember, of Metallica, that was kicked out of the group just like a bit before they got really famous. And then he built his own group, like metal group or whatever genre they are. And got super famous and was never happy because he was measuring himself against Metallica. And then they had a similar story about the one guy who was kicked out of the Beatles. He was the drummer. This guy was the drummer before Ringo Starr was in, and all the group wanted him to be kicked out, so they kicked him out. And then he had a super happy life because he just stopped. He measured his life in a different way after, and I think I'm starting to understand that message now, that it's just, you need to change your values of what's important, what success is, because especially if your body's just pushing you against it, don't keep going. Like, I'm really sad that I feel so burnt out, because dance is just something I love so much, and it sucks to feel like you're burning out of something you love. We don't want that. So I'm going to keep resting a little bit. I quit one of the groups I was in, and what else did I do? Yeah, that's kind of it. And I'm going to, this week, for example, just train for my competition and not go to my other classes, except 2. So that's progress. And just eat better again, because I was not eating, like, some days I didn't eat that much junk food, but like I ate like half a kilo of yogurt. It was just like ridiculous. So now, but also chocolate, and I didn't gain 2 kilos of yogurt, so but I'm doing better now. So, moral of the story, not that I'm trying to give anyone a moral story, I'm just kind of talking about things that are working for me, things that are not working, because what I'm finding difficult is resting, like actually resting and laying down is obviously really boring. So trying to find a way to rest or an activity that's actually restful or fun. And I actually found that part of my breakdowns also came from feeling lonely. So I'm trying to reach out more to my friends and make more new friends, because I realized that when I do start feeling bad and unwell or whatever, I just become like a hermit crab, and nobody knows that I'm feeling like shit often. And then I tell them later, and they're like, why didn't you call me? So working on that now, I think, there's always a mix of problems in the ways to using the breakdown as a way to improve, ways of life. So what I'm going to do is, try and make more friends, see my friends more, call them more, tell them if I feel like crap. Being more vulnerable, really, which can be always a bit tricky. You want to seem strong to everyone, but then you're just super inaccessible. So sometimes I think I just need to tell people if I'm not feeling great, instead of being like, trying to, the often response to, how are you doing? Is just to be like, yeah, I'm doing great, to try and convince myself that I'm 100%. But then it's always tricky, because a lot of people obviously that ask you that, not wanting you to try and make them into their therapist. But I think more honesty and just accepting that if you feel how you feel, just to say it, and yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what I want to talk about. This was fun. I want to be posting more. I haven't lately, but yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day. And if any of you have burned out recently or any time, if you have any tips on how to recover, what the best things are, please write them in the comments. I think that would be very, very helpful for everyone, and me also. So yeah, have an awesome day, awesome week, and I'll see you guys in the next video.